a lot of baseball around here. Baseball, as I've always mentioned, does a terrible job at marketing. I thought that the MLB All-Star Game was okay. I like the players mic'd up. As you guys know, I'm not the biggest fan of the Home Run Derby. I do wish the MLB still had that the winner of the AL versus NL gets home field advantage in the World Series. It made the All-Star Game matter. It made you want to pay attention, and it made you want to root for, in my case, the American League. Hey, even when, in my case, with the Cleveland Guardians, we're in a tight division battle right now with the White Sox and Twins, but I want to root for White Sox and Twins players because I feel like I have a chance to get to the World Series. And if the American League wins, no matter what our record is, we're going to have home field in the World Series. It created urgency. It made the MLB All-Star Game different, and it made it matter. I miss it a lot. But the MLB trade deadline occurred this past Tuesday, and the biggest move is obviously Juan Soto going from the Washington Nationals to the San Diego Padres. Not the Los Angeles Dodgers. I completely apologize on that. Juan Soto is now a San Diego Padre. And, it was reported that Juan Soto turned down a massive 15-year, $400 million extension from the Nationals. He wanted to play in a big California market. Now, San Diego is in a crazy big market, but they're still in California. He wanted to play for a contender. He went to Manny Machado and crew in San Diego, who, of course, also got Josh Hader from the Milwaukee Brewers. I have no idea what the Brewers are doing. They are essentially in a first-place tie with the St. Louis Cardinals for the NL Central title, and they traded away their best closer, maybe the best closer in baseball. I don't understand it whatsoever, but I don't think that this Juan Soto move by San Diego puts them over the Dodgers. I think it is a waste of time move. I would have not made it, and as I have always contested here, baseball is different than the NFL. It's different than the National Basketball Association, especially. Stars don't matter, right? The Angels have the two best players in baseball, Shin-Ei Ohtani and Mike Trout, who obviously just went on the designated list, but they did have, when they were both healthy, the two best players in baseball. Their manager got fired in May after they lost 12 straight games because outside of Ohtani and outside of Trout, they have no hitting, they have no pitching. It does not matter if you have, cast of all stars, if you will. It is about good pitching. It is about timely hitting. It's about playing good defense. What baseball always has been about. It's why the Cleveland Guardians did not make a move at the MLB trade deadline. They have all these kids, and they just wanted to see it play through. I know a lot of Guardians fans were mad they did not make a move for a catcher or a starting pitcher or a bullpen arm. I kind of expected it. I wasn't mad. I like letting the kids play out, especially in a weak AL Central. But we all know now baseball is extremely top heavy. The two by far favorites in the American League this year, and even though Seattle has a great young kid in this Rodriguez, they're not a real championship contender. Minnesota, Chicago, Cleveland. One of those three is going to win the division. One of them may sneak into the wild card. They're playoff contenders. They're not true World Series contenders. American League East, Tampa's not even close to the Yankees. Toronto's decent. You can make an argument they're World Series contenders, but by far the two best teams in the American League are the Yankees and the Astros. On the National League side, you could say the Dodgers and the Padres, and you could even throw in the Mets a little bit in there, are the three best teams in the National League by far. Philadelphia, Milwaukee, and St. Louis are all kind of chasing each other. Obviously, Milwaukee, St. Louis fighting for the NL Central. Philadelphia is fighting for a wild card with the Braves in the National League East. The Giants are taking a step back after being the team with the best record in baseball last season, which we all kind of expected because they overachieved last year. But I think you take a look at baseball right now, and it's Dodgers, it's Yankees, and it's Houston, right? It's Houston, it's New York, it's Los Angeles. Vince Scully just passed away this week, and so did Bill Russell, two great legends in the sporting industry. Of course, Bill Russell representing Boston and the Celtics, and of course the Red Sox have not, they're okay this year. They're not great. They haven't felt like a special franchise since they won that World Series in 2018 with that cheater Alex Cora that stole from the cheating and the banging in Houston. But nonetheless, it just feels like we are set up for either a Yankees or Astros versus Dodgers World Series. Now, we all thought that last year, and the Braves did face the Astros and beat them shockingly to me. If you recall back in October, I thought the Astros were going to easily win the World Series in 5 or 6 games. That did not occur. The Atlanta Braves beat the Astros in 6 games, and it just goes to show, man, baseball is all about being timely and getting hot. You could have the most talent in the world. You could have an all-star team, 1 through 9 hitting. But if you don't have the proper pitching, and if you don't play good defense, and if you don't get timely hitting, you're not going to win baseball games. That's always been the key to baseball, and it's about youth and playing together and stringing together hits and being a good team and managing well and having a good bullpen. That's what Atlanta did last year. They were under 500 in August. They ended up winning the World Series. And now, obviously, Juan Soto, a 2019 champion with the Washington Nationals, who were also struggling at that time at the trade deadline, is now in San Diego as Washington begins their rebuild. For San Diego, I think it's a risk that I would not have taken. I'm glad my small market Guardians did not take that risk. For Washington, I'm surprised they didn't get that much back. They're going to be terrible now for the next couple of years, or to be pretty good, for most of my lifetime. But yeah, baseball's trade deadline. Yes, there were a lot of moves. I think the biggest ones for me are going to be San Diego getting Soto, getting Ader. Obviously, we saw Trey Mancini leaving Baltimore, but there's not really a move to me that really struck out as like over the top move. Again, baseball is just so top heavy with the top three, with the Dodgers, the Yankees, and the Astros. I don't think it really matters what any of these teams did. If you make the playoffs, great. The playoffs are now going to be 6 from each side, 12-team format, similar to the old NFL format, where you have 1 and 2 get by, 3 face 6 in a 3-game series at the 3. 4 faces 5 in a 3-game series at the 4. And then we move into the ALDS and the NLDS, which is best of 5. I wish it was best of 7. And then obviously the CS best of 7. World Series best of 7. That's the new baseball format. And I think at the end of the day, the trade deadline doesn't move the needle for everybody. We saw Francisco Lindor go to the Mets last year. The Mets were terrible last year. They're better this year, but they're certainly not better than the Dodgers. And I don't even think they're better than San Diego in the National League. But we'll have to see come playoff time who gets hot. And that could be the trick to winning it all in Major League Baseball.